Hey everyone, it's Andrea Praber here, Great Expectations Realty, and we are doing a live tonight. It is Monday night, and it is 6 o'clock, last I checked, although it feels like it's not 6 o'clock. We have that time change thing that happens every spring. I hate spring. And just for that reason, it's kind of brutal. I like fall better when it's like fall back, so you get like an extra hour of your life. They took away. Somebody stole an hour of my life yesterday. It wasn't fun. I don't like it, don't recommend it, and I really want to stop doing this time change thing because it kind of messes you up for about a week. It's just, all your clocks are weird. Like my cell phone, okay, that one's accurate, but now the clock in my car is going to be wrong. In like 6 months, it's going to be wrong again. So it's just a pain in the neck. I'd rather, it gets dark, it gets light. We can figure it out on our own. We don't need to change all the clocks in our house every 6 months. It's not good. Being jet lagged for two weeks out of the year without actually traveling anywhere is not fun. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I would prefer not to. I mean, if I'm going to be jet lagged, I'd rather go to Europe or something. I mean, let's do something fun and exciting. But I actually am going to go with my husband. We are going to Arizona for the first time. We're going to be going over there in April, and we were going to go to a conference with my real estate coach. Yes, I have a real estate coach. I've had a real estate coach for about a decade now. Awesome guy. He looks like a drill instructor. He's probably just as scary, but he kicks our butts, gets them in gear, So anyway, he has a conference over there, and as part of the coaching program that I have, the conferences are included with the program, but you have to get over there. So my husband and I are going over, and that's only a 2-day conference. I say only, but there's a lot of travel time to and from, and it's a different time zone, apparently. Several hours difference, I believe. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. But we're going over there, and we're going to fly back on Friday, and I was like, it's a Friday. I mean, why don't we see what there is to do in Arizona? I've never been to Arizona before. I was raised in Texas, but I've never been to Arizona before. So I literally typed in to the Google, what is there to do in Arizona? And it was like the Grand Canyon. I'm like, oh, right, that's over there. Yeah, I honestly don't know what's outside of Central Florida anymore. I gotta get out more, y'all. I really gotta get out more. But y'all keep me busy. So anyway, we are going to go over there and do that for the weekend. I figured, we'll go and stay at some hotels or something. No, over at the Green Key, I didn't find any interesting hotels. There was some stuff from like maybe Motel 6 Forgot or something. There were like some older motels, and I really wasn't really sure. So we actually are going to rent an RV. Have you guys ever done this? I've never done this before. But we're going to, actually, it's not even an RV because apparently there's parking issues at some of the state parks and stuff. So we're going to rent a Sprinter van that has been converted into a living space. And it comes with everything. It's got, dishes and forks and can openers and linens and all that. Anyway, it's like ready to go. But yeah, apparently some people have their RVs or whatever, and when they're not using them, they put them up for rent. So I'm like, well, it can't be that much different from like an Airbnb. It's just mobile. So we're going to go ahead and try that. We're going to go and see the Grand Canyon for a few days. I'm going to see if I can get my husband to ride a donkey, but he's 6'4", and I doubt it. But, we're going to try. We're going to try and do the Grand Canyon. So we'll see. But yeah, it should be interesting. It's our first time flying with Frontier Airlines as well. So hopefully that'll be it. I've gone through like Spirit. I've done Southwest, American, Delta, Continental. I mean, there's a lot of, I used to travel for work, so I've pretty much been on all of them. I've never been on Frontier. So we'll see what happens with that. Allegiant is also one of them. that's actually pretty common down here. I don't know if I've actually been on Allegiant Air, but I know a lot of my family has been on Allegiant Air because it comes from Michigan down to Orlando. It's the Sanford Orlando International Airport. It's a smaller airport that a lot of people don't know about. And it's in Orlando. It's just like on the north side of Orlando, just about 15 minutes more for us to go over there. I prefer the Sanford Orlando Airport, especially when picking up family, because you just go in. It's just a little itty bitty airport. Go in, pick your family up, and you go. You know, there's no mayhem there. If you go to MCO, that's Orlando's big, huge, international, massive Mickey Mouse airport. It is huge. You have to take a tram just to get to your luggage. There is a massive hotel and essentially a mall inside. I mean, there's restaurants like crazy. It is massive, okay? I cannot tell you. So when you go to pick up friends or family in the MCO, the big, huge Orlando International Airport, it is a different scenario completely. It is mayhem incarnate. So I prefer the Sanford Orlando one. Norma is good evening, Norma. Hello, Andrea. And hold on, man. If I could just get this to stay up, that would be awesome. Hello, Andrea and everyone. My question is about a purchase agreement. Would a copy of a purchase agreement be proof enough of a sale? Yes, absolutely. How long does it take for a quitclaim deed to be recorded? Now I got a whole new one. To be recorded. Okay, for it to show up on public record, it takes right now around 3 weeks, give or take. You should have documentation from whoever submitted the paperwork to the courts that it was submitted and recorded. It's just when it actually hits the website and becomes like public record for everybody to see, that can take up to 3 weeks depending on how far behind they are on their data entry. But yeah, it's about 3 weeks for Marion County. Some places are faster, some are slower. It just depends. But 3 weeks is about what you can expect. As far as proof of a sale, yeah, absolutely. Your contract should do that, your purchase contract. In fact, there's a lot of people, you're welcome, Norma. There's a lot of people right now that are using those to do a contract that's contingent on their house selling. So if you're buying a house in Ocala, for example, and you're selling your house in New Jersey, for example, I don't know where you are. I'm just using it as an example. So if you're in New Jersey, I'm not a stalker. Anyway, but if you're buying your house down here and you're like, hey, I have a pre-approval letter from the lender saying that I can buy this house as long as I sell mine. Here is the contract on this house that proves I have a ready, willing, and able buyer to purchase this contract. So you then give that on top of your offer and your pre-approval over here, and that's proof that you are well on your way. What about if someone else shows this as proof to me that the land was purchased? Was purchased? Or, because if it was purchased, then you should have more than that. If they did like a quitclaim deed or something like that, even if it's not on public record yet, they should still have something legal showing. I mean, when you go to the court, you get a receipt for this stuff. I mean, they should have more than just that. I would always recommend that you get the closing through a title company. Yes, I know it's going to cost more, but then you have clear title. And there are definitely scams going on here in, not necessarily in Marion County, but over in Citrus County, we've seen it a lot, like a lot, where somebody is selling vacant land and it's the person that is selling it is not the true owner of the property. You're welcome. Yeah, call a title company. Absolutely. Some of my, I have my favorites. And I am not in any way getting anything from, there's no, kickbacks or anything like that. We don't do that. But there are title companies that I really have done business with for years down here, and I really like them. First International is a really well-known title company. They have all throughout the state of Florida. They've got places. Celebration Title is also one that is all throughout Florida. Here locally, there's also First American, which actually that's a national company. Now that I think about it, I say it and then I'm like, oh wait, no. But First American Title, I've known them and done business with them for years and years. Talked to Belinda over there. Oh my goodness, MLS Title. There's just so many. MLS Title is Marion, Levy, and Sumter County. Anyway, any of them, just call them up and ask them a few questions. They'll let you know. If you want to tell them that Andrea over at Great Expectations sent you, so maybe you can get a little more help if they know that, you know, you're talking to somebody in the area, instead of just like, oh, you want us to do something, what? Report it to the police, because if they're scamming you, they're scamming other people. A scam is normally a numbers game. They're going to scam as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, before they're found out. So, and that is definitely true of houses that'll be for rent. We see that practically weekly, especially on Facebook. That's a new one. So if you actually go on Facebook and somebody's renting out their house, but they're not in the area, I would definitely question it. I would definitely question it. Is it might not even be for rent. It might be a for sale. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen one of our sales listings or rental listings on a completely separate website, completely different contact information, and they've basically stolen all the pictures and information and description from our websites and legitimate MLS listings, and they post it over there and then put their contact information. They even, one time, they took my name and they made an email address with my last name first and then my first name, which at the time it was my maiden name. It was Jane Andrea. So instead of Andrea Jane. Anyway, so it was some Yahoo email. That wasn't my email. And what they were doing is saying that they were me. And they were getting, for rentals, it's even more scary, because for rental, it's not just a purchase agreement with a signature. It is an application fee and security deposit and first month's rent. That's a lot more common. So you are sending somebody you don't know all of your personal information, including copies of your ID with your social security number and current address. Like literally you're like, here is all my information to steal my identity. I did also, this has been years since this happened, but somebody actually broke into one of my listings that was vacant. They broke in the window, and then they were pretending to do showings for a rental. So I had to have the police come out. I also had to have the window fixed. So that one scared me more than anything else, because if you steal identity, that sucks, but you can recover. If they steal your money, you can definitely recover from that. If they steal you, that is definitely a problem. So my advice, and I've written blogs about this and stuff, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably on Craigslist, you know, stuff like that. So if you see stuff like that, or if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Please, you can always use a real estate agent, whether you are selling or you are buying, or you are renting. Have somebody with an actual, you know, they call it brick and mortar, but have somebody with an actual office help you and represent you. So it's worth it. You know, they can find out normally in just a few minutes if it's a scam or not. So please do that. Is it okay to contact this supposed seller? Yes, you can do that, but how do you know they actually own the house and that they are who they say they are? And that's the issue, because like before, they used my name as my email address, but it wasn't my email address. So the person thought they were corresponding with the landlord, and I had no idea that any of it was happening. What you can do is look on public record. Everything is public record here in Florida. Like, we want to know everybody's business so much. It's crazy. We're so nosy. So go on to public record. Is it here in Marion County you're doing this, or is it somewhere else? Because I don't know. I'd have to know what county, but for Marion County, for example, you can, Jimmy Cowan is the property appraiser for our county in Marion. Okay, so you can go to Marion County Property Appraiser. You can Google that, or I have it as a bookmark because there's just so much great information on there. It's not even funny. Which is, are you ready for this? Tell me you're ready. The address, the web address for this is www.propertyappraiser.com. pa.marion.fl.us. And that's the Marion County Property Appraiser. And you're going to go over on the front page, you're going to see a picture of Jimmy Cowan up with his blue tie. You're going to click on Property Search. And then you're going to say, I understand and accept the above statement. And then you're going to go to search, the property record search. You're going to click on address. And you're going to click on the address of the property. I've been checking for a quitclaim deed show on the site. Well, this site is going to show the property card. The quitclaim will show up on that, but you probably want to go over to court records, and that's different. I would go to the clerk of court or call the courthouse. You can call the courthouse. They're really good at answering questions. I mean, we're a small town. I mean, if they can, and again, most things are public record here, I swear. You can actually call over there and just ask a few questions. And if they can help you, they will. They're really nice. Or at least they've always been nice to me. Yeah. So yeah, call the clerk of court. Hold on one second. I got the that's also on my frequently used websites. I use it a lot. Now mine just goes straight to the search. It's like, who do you want to know about, or what do you want to know about? So yeah, I bypass. I have it saved to bypass all of the stuff. So anyway, but you can go into the clerk of court, or you can call the clerk of court. Let me see if I can click on that and get that. No, that's just the user guide. That's public user access. I don't know. But yeah, just call them and they should be able to help you out. So they'll, but yeah, once you know who the actual seller is, if you're okay with spending a few dollars, literally a few dollars, go to the seller, go to the actual owner of the property according to the court and public record, take their name and address, not necessarily the address of the property, but their address of public record, put that into whitepages.com, and it'll give you that person, their contact information, like email, cell phones, all sorts of stuff. So that way, there's no way to really run a scam that way. You looked at public record and who is currently on the deed, took that information, put it into white pages, which is, you know, we used to have phone books. Yellow pages were the businesses and white pages were the people. So yeah, whitepages.com. It'll cost anywhere from $5 to $20. I use it all the time because I want to make sure who I'm doing business with or who I'm doing a showing with is actually the person they say they are. So, I mean, it's just, you just can't be too careful these days. Please, 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 please be careful. Again, the other thing you can do is contact a title company. They can do a real quick lien search as well, which is huge. Because you don't want to buy a property and then find out there's like more liens on the property for unpaid laborers or something like that, or unpaid utilities or assessments or anything like that, then the property is worth and now it's your problem. There could be all sorts of stuff. So just protect yourself, get as much information as you possibly can, because knowledge is power in this case. So just be really careful. And again, realtors, I mean, I've got all this stuff saved. So if somebody comes and calls me up with a question, if I have a few minutes, I normally will just run through it with them. And yeah, sad that we have to check everything today. I remember a day when people were honest. People are still honest, Norma. They are. There's just, the problem is there's a like 80-20 rule applies. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Pareto principle, but 80% of the people out there are probably honest as the day is long, and then there's 20% that run 80% of the scams. So it's those 20% we're gonna look for, okay? And I hope it's more of a 90-10 thing, but that's not the Pareto principle. So, but yeah, they are the ones, even though majority of the people out there are honest and, you know, can do a handshake transaction with you, it's those 20% sharks that you got to watch out for, because if they smell blood in the water, we're in trouble. So yeah, just don't be messing with them. Protect yourself. You're welcome. All right, and then I saw there was another comment, I think, about the airlines I was talking. Oh, Kristen. Kristen, Albuquerque. We got lucky at Orlando. Flew in super early and it was empty for the most part. You are very, very lucky. Because yeah, it can get messy over there. I'm gonna out my son so bad tonight. So bad. He had his friend from Chicago fly down. And he's like, you know, when it's your friend that's flying in, you're gonna go to the airport and pick him up, okay? That's the rules. So if it was my friend, I know I'm gonna have to get in the car and pick him up. If it's my husband, all right, chances are both of us will go. It's my college. He's up in Tallahassee, but he's down here for spring break. So he had a friend come down to hang out in, you know, north central Florida, and he flew in. Yeah, so they get in, and this kid is like super, super tired. And yeah, apparently our son, bless his heart, went to Tampa International Airport, and his buddy flew into Orlando. Yeah. So yeah, he's like, I will never live this down. And I was like, you really won't. It was so good. I was just, oh my goodness. So yeah, it takes about an hour and a half to get down to Tampa, or only an hour to Orlando. But if you go to Tampa first and then go to Orlando, you're gonna be on the road for a good 3.5 hours. One way. Because then they gotta come back. So about 4.5 hours he was putzing around. So that just happened yesterday, and I was like, you didn't. And he's like, yeah. So yeah, apparently originally he had wanted to fly into Tampa, but there was some kind of dealer special or whatever, and it ended up being like $100 cheaper to go fly into Orlando, and somehow the change did not click in our son's mind, and things happen. So yeah, there's a shuttle service in case you do not want to have to phone a friend. There's a shuttle service that will pick you up and take you to the airport or from the airport or whatever. So just a heads up on that one. I've never done it, but I always just call somebody. But you know, living in Florida, I'm pretty much the somebody that gets called. So I can't even count how many times I've gone to pick somebody up or drop somebody off to the airport. It's not bad. I listen to an audiobook. It's not a big deal. You went to the wrong airport? Anyway, I can't even say that's like rare. Like a decade ago, my younger brother was flying back to Michigan, and my mom drove him to the airport and dropped him off. And she dropped him off at the wrong airport. I mean, this was like literally at least, oh man, probably more than 10 years ago. Probably more like 15 years ago. I don't know. It was a while back. But yeah, she'll never live that down either. So, but what was sad is I was like, dude, you can't even see anything. You were in the car. He was like, I fell asleep. All of a sudden, I'm at the airport. I'm getting out of the car. I walk in, and it said Tampa, and I was flying out of Orlando. And I'm like, oh, so bad. So we do have options for airports, but you just got to know which one. So bad. That's some craziness. That is some craziness. So far, it has not happened to me. And it's something I would do too. You know, I would probably do that. I haven't. It's never happened so far. I'm pretty, like, where am I going? Where I need the GPS, and I'm gone. But yeah, it can. I've gone to the wrong place before, but not the wrong airport. That's a whole nother level. I'm not up to that level or down to that level, depending on how you talk about it. Oh, can you imagine? So yeah, some craziness. Just some craziness going on. Oh, it was an honest mistake, but it's still funny as all get out. I mean, he's never gonna hear the end of that one. So anyway, we are supposed to be getting some cold weather this week. Is that not crazy? 1 week, I think it's on Wednesday night, it's getting down to 39. Like, our splash pads are open. Like, what? We're done. We're like, okay, well, spring was over. Now we're ready for summer. No, weird weather. Yeah, 39 degrees on Wednesday night. We're all just kind of going, what? Yeah. What part of Ocala do you feel is the safest? Wherever I am. 30, I know. Well, during the day it's going to be like 70, but at the same time, 39 for a low, that is just bizarre. So weird. The safest part of Ocala, I don't know, inside the police station, I suppose. As far as living, I don't know. I guess in a 55 plus community. But even them, I mean, they'll have, domestics and stuff. So domestic dispute or whatever. So it's not completely free of crime. It's Kristen. Well, you asked. No, I don't know. Ocala Police Department, actually, the city of Ocala, because it's you got two different things. Within the city of Ocala, you have the southwest or southeast. That is a massive area. Like, I can't even tell you how massive of an area that is. That southeast alone is it's like half of the Ocala National Forest is southeast Ocala. It's like miles and miles of trees. Okay, yeah, you'd have bear. Like, you're killing me tonight. Southwest Ocala, that encompasses pretty much everything from downtown Ocala, because that's the middle. Everything is cut from there. But if you go southwest quadrant of Ocala, it goes all the way out to Denellen. That means you could go from downtown Ocala out just one direction, one road. 45 minutes later is when you'll get to the end of that section. It's freaking massive area, and that's not even going like down. That is huge. I can't even express to you how large of an area that is. So to say southwest Ocala is the safest quadrant of Ocala, that's not fair. There's literally no fair way to say that. It literally, it's not possible. It's not me being a realtor and, I don't want to tell you. No. That is literally impossible. There in southwest Ocala alone, the Country Club of Ocala is in that section. Multi-million-dollar properties are in that section, and there's also itty-bitty like mobile homes from the 1960s. So you're killing me. All right. Okay. For me personally, that's what I can do. I can tell you I have lived in Northeast. That was the first place I lived, was in Northeast Ocala, right in city of Ocala. I did not like it. I love the city of Ocala. I don't want to live in the city of Ocala. I like to visit the city of Ocala, but there's too many people, and I like to go to the mall. I don't want to live in the mall. Does that make sense? Okay. So, yeah, I didn't like that, but some people love it, so whatever. Then I moved to the Shores. We call it the Shores, in case you were looking. If you say Silver Springs, that it's north, and if you say Silver Springs Shores, we're gonna know you're not from here, because that's southeast tail end of Marion County is the Shores. It's a huge, massive subdivision that's similar to Marion Oaks in size. It's its own zip code. Huge. It's got its own Walmart, its own Publix. It's massive area. I mean, tens of thousands of houses. So that's the Shores. I lived there for several years. I loved it. I didn't want to leave. I really did love it over there. But my husband, I got married to him, and his kids went to schools on the other side of the county over in Southwest. So we actually moved outside of Ocala for a couple of years. We actually lived in Citrus County, which I loved Citrus County, just on the opposite side of Citrus Springs. I have an issue with being that far from a mall. That was like being right in city of Ocala was too close, and being in Citrus County was too far. I wanted like an in-between. currently we are living in South, I mean, we're talking like 20 years difference going here. This is like the whole where I've lived. But currently we live in Southwest Ocala. We've lived in Southwest Ocala going on 7 years now. And pretty much all of our kids have been graduating from Westport High School. At this point, I think we own part of Westport High School with as much as the kids are there through all their programs and graduations and all the stuff. Anyway, so we're on our last child that is graduating through Westport High School. She's got 2 years to go. But we really like the Southwest area. And apparently everybody else does too, because everybody's moving to Southwest Ocala. So now, where I was in the country more so, and lots of trees, now I've got houses around me. And I'm like, we gotta go. This is too much. So I mean, I love my neighborhood. I love my neighbors. They're awesome. My sister she lives with us, she did request that we start locking the doors. So I was like, we haven't locked the doors in like 6 years. And she's like, could you just? So we do lock the doors now during the day, but we haven't. We're not in some kind of gated community. We're not. But yeah, so we've never even had an Amazon pack. Like we could leave an Amazon package in the middle of our yard for a week and nobody would touch it. Except for maybe a neighbor to come bring it to our door and be like, hey, you left this. And, so yeah, we could leave our garage door open at night and nobody would freaking touch anything. It just doesn't happen. So, I mean, I do have a Ring doorbell, but that's just because I'm nosy and I want to see when the kids come in and out. But that's us, and I mean, does that mean that there's never going to be any crime? No, but we feel safe there. But again, that's one little section of a massive area. Excuse me, but I live in Southwest Ocala. We sell a lot of homes in Southwest Ocala. There's a lot of gated communities in Southwest Ocala. There's a lot of growth. There's so many people moving to Southwest Ocala. It is by far the busiest section or the most growth in that section. It's just huge growth. So we got a Publix now about a mile from our house. It just opened in September. We've got a gas station. I mean, like we're moving up in the world. There's like people out there. We've got a library we've had that though. So yeah, there's a lot out by us now. I know it sounds weird to you guys. You're like, okay, gas station. No, look, there was nothing. There was trees and now there's like stuff coming and there's going to be more stuff. I think we're getting a Starbucks finally. So yeah. And I think we're going to have a nail place. I mean, this is huge. Like, whoa. So yeah, that's our area is like Southwest Ocala. That's where Marion Oaks is. I live 5 minutes from Marion Oaks. I just live on the other side of the Greenway, which kind of is a separation. Buc-ee's, yes. Buc-ee's is actually going into northeast Ocala, I guess. It's right, they're obviously coming right off of 75, but it's in the north section. So they're going to be up on the new highway entrance and exit that goes over to World Equestrian Center, I believe, over by the FedEx and stuff. So where the Buc-ee's is going to go is currently Farms and Fields, and there's going to be a highway entrance and exit right there, and that's where the Buc-ee's is going to be. So heads up on that. So that's one of the things that is not coming to Southwest Ocala. Southeast Ocala goes all the way down to Villages. Like that's a huge area. It goes into Ocklawaha and Lake Weir and all that stuff over there. And yes, that is how you say it, Ocklawaha. There's also Okahumka and Wikiwachi and all sorts of words that we have down here. And if you say it wrong, we'll know you're not from here. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're truly from Gainesville, by the way, you probably will actually pronounce it Alachua instead of Alachua County. But I still say Alachua County because I think Alachua sounds weird. But yeah, a lot of the old timers will say Alachua County. Okay. I'm so thirsty. But yeah, that is, I don't know, that's it in a nutshell. But then to say like northwest is gorgeous. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful up there. So pretty, but it's all horse farms. I mean, you are going to be out in, I would say the sticks, but it's not sticks, it's farms. It's just acres and acres and miles of rolling farms, just pastures and horses and a lot of horses. Just miles and miles and miles of it. Big farms, little farms, every kind of farms. There's actually a subdivision called Meadowwood Farms that have mini horse farms that are like 3 to 6 acres each. I love Meadowwood Farms. It's so pretty out there. So yeah, if you want to have a small horse farm where you have 1 or 2 horses and you're only about 20 to 25 minutes from the center of Ocala, that would be the place for you. So yeah, the houses aren't too horrifically expensive for what they are, but beautiful, beautiful out there. Oh yeah, it is. It really is. It's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. Let me know if you want to buy a house in Meadowwood Farms. We have sold several and we love it out there. So let me know because I love that place. But yeah, I think I saw one recently. I just saw one come up. It might be pending already. See how quick. Let's see. What do they got in Meadowwood Farms today? As of today. We'll look. Meadowwood. I obviously have no listing over there. All right. Meadowwood. I think there's 2 different things called Meadowwood because it's showing like 13. I know there's no way there's, yeah, there's Meadowwood Acres. That's different. All right, Meadowwood Farms. They start at $435,000 for a 3-2 on 8 Wagon Wheel Way. That's up for sale. It's cute. Looks kind of Bavarian, but it's cute. I don't know. I think that one's a little bit expensive for me, but whatever. For what it is. I'm going to get lost in the MLS if I keep playing around with this, but I don't know. Let me know if you want some houses sent to you from Meadowwood Farms. That's pretty out there. But they do have, it looks like 8 houses out in that massive subdivision. It's not massive as far as how many houses because there's acreage. It's massive as far as like expansion, like how big it is. So, because again, acreage. But yeah, there's a lot of horse farms out in that area, like a lot. That's the side of town that has HITS, and it also has the World Equestrian Center, is that section. So yeah, anyway, going on up to Morriston and all that stuff. I like Anthony too. Anthony's so pretty. There's a lot of smaller horse farms over there. Citra is probably the best place, biggest bang for your buck. That's that's northeast. When I'm talking, Meadowwood Farms is on northwest, right? Yeah, northwest. California, yeah, northwest. Okay, anyway, it's on the left. When you're looking at a map, it's on the left. Anyway, but yeah, if you go up into northwest, that's where you're gonna find like all of the just gobs and gobs and gobs of horse farms and stuff. You will see them in northeast as well when you go up to Lake Anthony and then going up to Citra. Citra, there is a lot of mobile homes up there. Holy smokes, there's a lot of mobile homes. And that's it kind of dips into the forest. Fort McCoy is kind of, Orange Springs is all up in that area. If you're working in Gainesville, but you want to live in Ocala, Anthony, Citra area might be a good option for you. So if one spouse is working in Alachua County in Gainesville and one is in Ocala and Marion County, might be a good in-between for you. But and you can get houses there. It's just there's a lot of mobile homes in that area on acreage. That's the thing, is it's not like a mobile home park. It is literally acreage, and there's the mobile home. So anyway. But I don't know if that there is no way I could possibly say, oh yeah, the high crime area is in this quadrant of the county. No way. It is, yeah, it's if you live, does anybody in here live in Connecticut? No? Okay, well, so Marion County is just shy of the state of Connecticut. So if you were to say like what section of Connecticut is the good section and the bad section or whatever, it's just too way too big. It's way too big. But anyway, I don't know. I have never had an issue. I mean, I lived in the Shores. I've lived in Southwest. I own a business in Ocala and Denellen. We have some rental properties freaking everywhere. We've got about 200 properties that we manage within the Marion and Citrus County area. We have one in Deltona. It was random. It was for a favor. Don't ask. We actually have a listing in Deltona too. It's just, that's not really our area, but it might be soon. Anyway, it's like an hour and a half away. Whatever. But yeah, so we have, most of our properties are in Marion County though. And, so yeah, with all of those, you know, if there's a break-in or anything like that, we know about it because we're the ones that got to go send somebody out to fix the door or the lock or something like that. It's just, it's rare. We mostly have animal issues, actually. Squirrels getting up in the attic. Oh my goodness, the animal issues. Let's see, we had squirrels in the attic like last week at one of the rentals. One of them had a raccoon get up in the attic. That was a pain in the neck. We had a bear that constantly went out and sat on somebody's fence. They had a white PVC fence, and the bear was constantly climbing over the fence in the middle of the night and damaging the fence. So I think we fixed it like 6 times, and we finally were like, forget it, and we took the fence down. It was like, look, I don't know what to tell you. Don't go out at night. I don't know. But their property was right on the Ocala National Forest. It was like literally the backyard practically was the Ocala National Forest. So, yeah, so, you know, we'll have black bear. What else? I had bees one time. That was crazy. It wasn't my property. It was actually another property manager back before I was a broker. And it was weird. So I had this little old lady. She was super, super sweet. And her property manager was out of town, and we took turns. Like, if you're going out of town, I'll watch your properties and handle your emergency calls so you can have a true vacation, right? So I get a call on, not my rental, and she says, hey, I have a hornets out at my house, and I don't know if I'm supposed to take care of that or you guys are going to take care of that. Now, some property managers might just leave it at that and say, well, pest control is your responsibility on houses or something like that. I asked for a picture. I am so grateful. I asked for a picture. She sent me a picture. What she had was an entire bee swarm that was coating the side of the house. It was literally the entire side of the house. And apparently they were swarming and kind of went by looking for a place to put their swarm. And they decided that house was the house. So this alligator, everybody else have alligators. It's not really a thing for us. I mean, we have them, but we know where they are. Don't go swimming in them, especially at night. Who goes in the swimming in the night? Alligators don't normally eat during the day. They actually digest their food. That's why they sun, is because they're cold-blooded, and so the sun helps them digest their food. So they actually hunt at night. I don't know about you, but I don't go to open water when it's dark. But they also wouldn't normally attack somebody my size either. They would go for like smaller animals or children. So unless you actually take a toddler and dunk them in the water after dark, which somebody did in recent years over in Orlando, and it had signs and everything that said alligators, you know, beware and stuff like that. And it was at Disney, and so that had a bad outcome. Don't dunk your toddler in alligator infested water after hours. That's a bad idea. But yeah, it happened. But that generally, if you just use your Florida sense and don't do that, you should be fine. I think in all of Marion County, we've only had one person in the last 60 years that actually was attacked by an alligator and it killed them. One. You are much more likely to die by lightning. I actually looked up the statistics one time because I was curious, because everybody always asks about alligators. It's just not really a thing. I mean, they could get in your pool or something like that. But you'll see them. I mean, they're pretty hard to hide. You just call somebody and they come and get them out. Take them out to the middle of the Ocala National Forest and say, here, live your life out here. And that's actually the one death that we had in Marion County was out in the middle of the Ocala National Forest. So yeah, it's not like it was like locally here. It was way out there in the sticks. So, but yeah, kind of interesting. But yeah, now if you go down to the Everglades or something, I don't know. I don't go to, they got crocodiles, and crocodiles are pissy. They're mean. They just got attitude. Alligators are kind of fat and lazy. They really are. Everybody's always so worried about the alligators. No. If it's fast moving water, they don't like it, because then they have to fight the current and stuff. They don't like it. They just like to kind of go up and down. They don't like to fight again. They're lazy. They're so lazy. So yeah, So if you're going to like Rainbow Springs, everybody's like, oh, watch out for alligator. They ain't gonna go out in that current. That's how tens of thousands of people go out to Rainbow Springs every year without an issue, because they're not gonna mess with you. But I don't know. But yeah, to go back to the bee thing, yeah, it was an entire swarm. I did tell her to immediately get out of the house, and I was sending somebody to take care of it. We do not kill bees. We actually send somebody over that maintains bees, like a beekeeper, and they go over and they'll take the swarm with them, and they're just so happy to have them. And so yeah, you don't want to kill bees. That would be really bad for the environment. So yeah, bats are a thing. Those are a pain in the neck. I don't know. There's a lot of wildlife here. We have more wildlife issues than crime issues. There was a squirrel in my own attic one time, and we caught him. He kept going, and they're mean. They're not mean. They're just, they get into trouble. They chew up wires. They're just, they're irritating. Irritating little things. We do have monkeys, but those are, you have to really go out and try and find them. They're over in like Silver Springs is where they originated in the 50s. Somebody brought them over. So now they're all over in the Ocala National Forest. But again, you kind of have to look for them. You have to know where they are really to actually find them. But I don't know. It's crazy. I know we have like the craziest stories here. It's just insane. But it's more wildlife than anything. Unless you go to Walmart. I don't go to Walmart. The wildlife is in there, man. Everybody's crazy in there. It's like, I don't know. Somebody gave everybody permission to act crazy in Walmart. So I don't go in there. I get Walmart delivery because they do have cheaper groceries. But like, I want it delivered to my door. It's great. There's an app and everything. It has all your stuff that you normally get every week. It goes right on there. Andrea, do you want the same stuff this week that you got last week? Yes, I do. They crossed over 40 one day, a group of 30 or more. Is that monkeys? I was like, 30 or more. Alligators, they're pretty solitary creatures, but probably monkeys probably. They like to hang out. They like to group together. But yeah, 40, especially out in Silver Springs, yeah. Kroger is good too. See, I started trying to do the Kroger app because they had a coupon that if I started with them that they would do like a $10 discount. But I tried ordering stuff and I'm not used to Kroger. I haven't been to a Kroger in probably 30 years. Yeah, the monkeys. So I couldn't find any of my normal stuff, so I'm either Publix, Aldi, or Walmart. Those are the options, okay? Those are the options I've had for 20 good years. So I don't really know. Maybe Winn-Dixie. Yeah, right across from Silver Springs. Well, that's where they originated. Somebody thought it would be a great idea to bring the monkeys over. There's an island, little itty bitty island, and he was one of the glass bottom boat captains. And they had the Tarzan movies, and it was like so popular, right, to go down there. And so he actually imported 8 rhesus monkeys, I believe from Africa. I don't know where he got them, but anyway, he imported them in because he heard that they couldn't swim. So he was going to marine them on that little island and have it as a tourist attraction. He was wrong. Rhesus monkeys swim like nobody's business. And so by the next day, all 8 of them were gone. and there went his money. I'm sure it was expensive to import those monkeys. They have since become many. That was back in what, the 50s. So now there are, they think, approximately 1,200 to 2,000 rhesus monkeys, and they start anywhere from Silver Springs, Florida, all the way up to Jacksonville, and somebody even said they saw them as far as Gainesville. But again, you really have to look for them most of the time. Once in a while, you'll see them, you know, a group of them or something like that. But especially over by Silver Springs, that's where the majority of them are, because that's where, you know, that was that was the hot zone for the rhesus monkeys. That's where they started out. So they love the Ocala National Forest. They're all up in there. So I don't know. Normally, as long as you leave them alone, same as bear, panther, alligators, if you leave them alone, they'll pretty much leave you alone. I mean, they really don't want anything to do with you. Now, if you go out there trying to get them to like eat grapes out of your hand or something, you're an idiot. There's don't do that. Leave the animals alone. You're fine where they are. Take pictures. Don't try to touch them. They don't like that. It's a wild, feral animal. Like, I don't even try and touch feral cats. They don't like it. They don't want you. They're very cute, but they are, just leave them alone. Just, but yeah. I don't know. We got wild boar, coyote. We have all sorts of stuff. Just, I don't know. They're fine. We just leave them alone. I don't know. I don't think I would parade like a little dog or something in front of an alligator, but everything else. I've tried the Kroger app in the past and it always says the things I want. Yeah, see, I was having that same issue, Nike. I was like, you know, I want it, and then like the sale items and stuff, they're like, oh, there's all these sale items. There wasn't sale items. I was like, it's cheaper over at Walmart. So I don't know. At this point, I've got the Walmart app down pat. It's got all my stuff. I just got to click a couple buttons. Throughout the week as we run out of something, I'm like, oh, I'm out of white vinegar. Click, you know, I mean, so easy. So yeah, I was doing it where they put it in the back of my car, and I go to the Walmart store and they put it in the car. But a couple times they were running late, and so I was sitting there for like an hour. I was like, I might as well have gone in. So then I found out that they'll deliver it to my house, and I'm like, I'm never grocery shopping again. Not happening. But I actually noticed I save money if I stay out of the store. Yeah, Publix gets me every single time on that, because they got the buy one, get one. So even if I don't need something, I end up getting two of them. Like, what? That is just dumb. I gotta stay out of Publix, but it's so nice shopping there. Shopping is a pleasure at Publix. It really is. So I know everybody. I'll run into all my neighbors in there and say hi and just whatever. So, but yeah, so, and then they got the Publix subs and the rotisserie chicken that's amazing. I'm sorry, it's way better than Walmart's. Walmart's is gross. But yeah, so whatever. So if I get the majority of my shopping at Walmart, I don't feel too guilty by going to Publix. And then Aldi is cheap too, but they don't have that much stuff. And you can never count like for sure on what they're going to have, because it's kind of different every week sometimes. So I don't know. I just do Walmart and I'm good. Well, I just got an offer on one of my listings for $100,000 under ask price. Why? I like to see what I buy. I'm always afraid they'll give me the oldest stuff on the shelf. I think the people that do it are in a hurry. I know they're like, everything's on a time. I don't think that they really are going to go to the back of the shelf or anything. I mean, they're just going to grab, if they can find what it is that you're looking for, that is 99% of the battle. I don't think they're really going to go through that. I have noticed there's one thing that my husband went to Publix to pick up there. I have noticed that the produce is fantastically better at Publix. It lasts a lot longer. And goat cheese. I cannot buy Walmart goat cheese. I will not buy Walmart goat cheese. I have to get it from Publix, because it's just, it's like soured. Even when it's still in date, it's just, there's something wrong. Same brand, same everything. I just don't like the goat cheese at Walmart. I don't know what they do to it, but it's not right. But I like the animal crackers. I'm addicted to animal crackers. And yeah, I get the big teddy bear jar of them. And I like the Stouffer's brand. No other brand will work. I like getting those, and it has to be from Walmart. So I don't know. There's some things that you get at different stores. Some economists say home prices will drop, but I've never seen that happen in Florida. I've seen it drop. I was here in 2008. But that was nationwide. I mean, it wasn't like we were special. Yeah, exactly. Publix is pricey, but it's worth it on certain things. Exactly. There are certain things I'm going to get there. I would rather, even if I have to pay more, so be it. But by and large, I actually save a lot of money by doing the app, by far. Because it's not like I go shopping around. It's, here's my items. Yes, I'm going to get those items. Here's what I'm out of, and I'm done. I don't like sit there and shop the aisles or look at the end card. It doesn't do that. So here's the items I need. Get in, get out, move on. And then Publix, that's where I really waste my money because I buy stupid stuff I don't need in there. But while in search of, so I send my husband because he only gets, he's focused. He's laser focused on what he needs to get out of Publix. So he goes in, gets my goat cheese and... But yeah, as far as the home prices, because I'm sure you want to talk about that more so than Publix goat cheese, I don't know if they're going to continue to drop. They've actually come up in the last month. So I'm going to say probably not for right now. Now, if the Fed does something ridiculous to the interest rate again, we're talking seriously ridiculous, and we do in fact go up to double digits, then yes, home prices will come down further. But again, you're going to pay the money anyway. You're going to be paying it to interest rates instead of the house, though. I personally would rather a seller have it than an interest rate, but, to the bank, but whatever, the whatever. But yeah, home prices did actually come up. I was actually pulling it up because and we have actually sold more houses recently. So things are actually looking good for the housing market. For everybody buying out there, not so much, but it's a nice stable market. So that means it's safe to buy, right? It's not the highest, it's not the lowest. It's just a nice stable, happy market. Original price versus sold price. That's what I want. And I want residential, and I want Marion County because that's what we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and pull that real quick, and I want the data, not the chart. Who cares about a chart? All right, so that's what I was looking at. So far in March, the median home price, the actual sale price of the house, is $275,000. Last month in February, the median home price was $269,000. January $260,000. December $261,000. That was weird. And then it was going up from there. So November $264,000, October $272,000, September $265,000, August $265,000, July $279,000, and that's kind of where it was up. So it's kind of interesting, but yeah, so it's back up to $275,000. It has not been $275,000 since June of 2022. So yeah, it's going back up. It is about even with the home prices being listed. The original price of the house as compared to the sales price. So median original price to the house is $279,900. Median actual closing sale price is $275,000. So it's actually pretty even. There for a little while, everybody was listing their houses at $300,000 and selling them for $260,000. And I'm like, y'all get on. What are you doing? So that wasn't good. But yeah, now it seems to be what you see listed is about what you're going to get it for. So list price is the actual price. You might be able to get some closing costs or something, maybe. But everybody is concerned with those appraisals right now. So a few months ago, because the sales prices were so high for so long, appraisals weren't really a concern because the houses were appraising because the history had shown the house is selling for more, but now it's been like 6 months. So we're taking those appraisals from the last 3 to 6 months. It's not going to appraise. It's not going to appraise. So if you put, let's say you offer $275,000 for a house that's listed at $279,000, and then you want closing costs, and they're like, I am not going to give you like 5 or 6% off just because you want closing costs. They're not really doing that as much anymore. So, because, you know, the market has stabilized. So what some buyers will say is, well, I'll go ahead and offer more for the house and then you're asking for, so you can get what you need out of it, and then you'll give me back closing costs so that I can close on this house without too much coming out of pocket, and I'll have more to put in a pool or do a fence or something like that. That's not really working anymore because the house will not appraise for that higher amount. So yeah, so people are having a little bit more of an issue with closing costs coming from the seller. Now there's still grants available like crazy. So that just means you got to do a little bit extra paperwork and maybe do a grant, either the Hometown Heroes or the other grants that are available that will help you with your closing costs. Or you could do like D.R. Horton or Lennar, or there was another one I saw today where they're offering like $10,000 in up to $10,000 in closing costs if you purchase one of their new construction homes. So you're probably going to pay a little bit more for the house, but if that was the option anyway, then it is what it is. So I don't know. That's kind of where it's at right now. But are the house prices dropping in Marion County? No, they're actually going up a little bit. So just a heads up on that one. We'll see what happens though. There's interesting banking issues. Based on your observations, are more people moving to Marion County down from northern states or up from South Florida? Yes. They're coming from everywhere. We are, all of a sudden, we're the popular girl at the ball. I don't know why, but I like it. I mean, it's nice to be popular. But yeah, they are coming from South Florida because our houses are cheaper and there's less likelihood of hurricanes. And if you did not see the news in the last year, South Florida and even over into the other coast, over going into like Sanford, Orlando, like that way, it kind of, the hurricanes bounce through. They hit both coasts. So yeah, there was a lot of flooding, a lot of issues and stuff. So we didn't get anything as usual. So yeah, so they're looking more inland, a lot of those areas. The homeowners have, you know, their money from their insurance companies, and they're like, yeah, you know what? Living by the beach is great, but also having a home not destroyed is even better. So we're going to go ahead, and we love Florida. We're just going to go a little more inland. We're inland. We're landlocked. We don't have a coast in our county. So yeah, a lot of people are taking that money and getting out of Dodge, and they're coming up here. We are the evacuation route, by the way. Like, we have family in South Florida, and when a hurricane comes through, they come to our house. Like, they're just, you know, it's just nothing happens. So, so yeah, we are having a lot from South Florida. Also, their home prices are so expensive. So expensive down there. It's crazy. Even Orlando is more expensive than us by far. So, you know, if you took $300,000 and you're like, oh, I want to go to Orlando, they'd be like, and where's the other half? Whereas over here, I mean, I was just showing a house that was like 4-bedroom, 3-bath with a 2-car garage, all tile throughout, stainless steel appliances, under $300,000. So yeah, there was, which one is it? There's some spot lots from D.R. Horton that are even under $300,000. New construction, concrete block. So if you tried to do that in Orlando, it wouldn't happen. You'd need at least another $100,000 to put on top of that. Then that's not guaranteeing it's going to be the same stuff in the house. So yeah, it's a little different, and that's Orlando. That's not even going into South Florida or anything on the coast. So our prices are much lower. Our job market is awesome. We've got a lot of jobs available, and they're good paying jobs. That used to not be the case, but now we've got some really great paying jobs up here. So kind of interesting stuff going on in Ocala. And we, of course, do not have snow, which is awesome. So a lot of people from up north, especially this time of year, are like, you know what, Andrea? I absolutely am over the whole snow thing. So I'm going to move down there. And yeah, Ocala sounds good. Why not? Again, don't want to deal with a hurricane. That seems like that's your area. I can transfer with my job because my company's there already, since we have a lot of companies here. So yeah, there's a lot of people from up north that are coming down. Had a few Canadians, but not nearly as what we had in past years. I think because the Canadian dollar is still not as great to purchase homes down here. But we'll see what happens with their exchange rate and see. I don't know. We'll see what happens in future years. I don't know. But right now, Canadians are not a huge home buyer for us. It's primarily people in the northern states. So we don't get a lot of people from like Georgia moving to Ocala. This is very, very similar. Not a lot. A few, but not very many. It's basically like the same. So, once in a while we'll see somebody like, you know, Louisiana or something. Texas, we do actually get some. We get a lot of people from California. And it's not because of the weather. It's because I think there's a lot of laws going on over there that are difficult for people to live with. I don't live over there. I don't know the laws over there, but I've heard that repeatedly, that they're like, I'm just kind of over some of the legal issues. They're not owner friendly over there. It's just some craziness going over. So yeah, homeowner rights are very odd over there. Yeah, so we have a lot from actually the whole West Coast, actually. We get some from New Jersey, Connecticut, and New York, just because the taxes y'all pay are ridiculous. What? Yeah, y'all got some crazy taxes. We don't like paying taxes. We like the tourists to come down and pay our taxes. It works well for us. We do have property taxes. We don't have state income tax at all. Our sales tax is pretty low as well. It's like 6%, except right in Marion County, we do have 7%. That extra percentage actually goes to our emergency services and roads being expanded. And I think we even got a grant for sidewalks. We're getting a whole slew of sidewalks in the county. But yeah, we don't really like taxes at all. So we don't like to pay them. We do, but we're not going to increase that. No. But you guys got some crazy property taxes and stuff. We try not to go too crazy with that. But again, we do have a very, very, very strong tourism in a lot of the state. And that does help with our expenses, so that the people that actually live here year round don't have to pay through the nose, basically, to live here. So yeah, we appreciate all of our tourists that come and visit us. We really, really appreciate it. Because yeah, we like living here without having to pay that much. Because wow, some of the states have got some craziness. But yeah, we have of course our federal income tax, that we don't have state income tax. Do not do that. I think, like, I was talking to my dad. He lives up in Michigan, and he was talking about some of you guys got some. It's complicated taxes up there, more so than anything. They've got like the township taxes, and then the county taxes, and then the state taxes, and then they got the income taxes, and I'm just like, I don't even know what to do with that mess. So it's just weird. So yeah, I'm very glad I don't do real estate in Michigan. I considered it for a time, getting a dual license, like one up in Michigan and one down here. I don't want to. I did just get another Florida real estate license. I am now a real estate instructor legally. I am a Florida real estate instructor. I just passed my exam on Friday. It was great. I called my husband all excited, and I was like, I was just trying to fake it, and I'm like, I failed. I got a 25, and he's just like, that's not even possible for you. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I passed. It was basically like the broker's exam, but on crack. And there's no way to study for it. There's no class that you can take, really. It's just basically you have to know the information like the back of your hand, be able to swim in it and explain it. And yeah, it was interesting. So thank you, Orlando. I said congratulations. But yeah, so I can now, if I so desire, to open a real estate school. I do not desire to do that. Y'all, there are some really great schools online. I don't want to compete with that. We actually use the CE Shop as the place that I promote. If you want to get a real estate license or continuing education, it's a really good online school, one of the best I've seen. But yeah, teaching people real estate was not actually what I was looking for. I'm more interested in teaching realtors and real estate agents that already have the basics down and expanding on their knowledge and know-how. So that's more my wheelhouse. I don't necessarily have to have a license for that, but it does make things easier and a little bit less complicated and a lot less paperwork over the long term, and I can pass the test, so why not get this license? So, but yeah, there are 260,000, I think, real estate agents within the state of Florida. 10% of those get their real estate broker's license. Fewer than that actually are broker of record of their brokerage. And I believe it is only 1% that go and doom themselves to being real estate instructors. So to say I am a weird individual, that's saying something. But that's okay. I like being weird. I like being fun. But yeah, I actually really love real estate. I love educating people about real estate, and I can't seem to help myself. So to also protect myself, because I do teach a lot online, and to make sure that I am licensed to do that is also a good precaution. So I am now licensed to do that. I can pretty much say what I want. Heaven help y'all. So yeah, just want to make sure I am covered and make sure that I can do what I'm doing and freely and openly, and not have to worry that I'm saying something that I shouldn't be saying, or, you know, was that more instruction, or, you know, whatever. So because my channel is very educational. Whether it falls into educating people about real estate, though, is questionable. I don't know if it's really licensing necessary, but now I've got it, so it doesn't matter. Craziness, absolute craziness. Well, I think that's about it for tonight. I have talked up a storm. I've drank a whole portion of my water, so I am going to go ahead and hit the road. Unless you guys have other questions, I'll leave it for a minute just in case you guys have any questions. Love to answer questions. I love it when you guys talk back and forth. It's so fun. I feel like I'm really interacting with you. I know some of you guys are watching these on TV, and it's a little harder to type in stuff. But if you are watching it on your big screen, first off, my pores hopefully don't look that bad. And also feel free to also log in maybe on your phone, turn off the volume on your phone so you can actually watch on TV, but you can actually type in your questions, comments, concerns, and otherwise on your phone so that we can interact. Because that's what I want to do on these lives, is to interact with you guys and answer questions you might have, or whatever. But it really makes it a really fun process for me, and it keeps me on the right purple path when you guys interact and stuff. So I love that. So please continue to do that. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel so you'll be notified every time I do a live or anytime we have a new video hit. So that is my spiel for that. I'm not good about asking for subscribers, obviously, because we've got about 1 million views on the channel and only about 3,400 subscribers. So please subscribe. Have your friends and family subscribe as well. That'll help. Carlos asks, when is Buc-ee's opening? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I love Buc-ee's. We went to check one out. It is the coolest place ever. I do know that it is going to be one of the larger ones. It's going to be 120 gas pumps. That's insane. So the one that my husband and I trekked up to up in St. Augustine to actually visit officially a Buc-ee's for the first time was actually about half that size. And that place was massive, and it was so fun and so crazy, and I just loved it. And we ended up spending way too much money in there, but that's fine. It was an event. But yeah, the one down here, I know they are contracting. They did get the zoning changed for the land, and Marion County officials did go ahead and agree, to the zoning change. So it going from farmland to super gas station tourist attraction extraordinaire is actually accurate now. I know they have an Ocala, Buc-ee's Ocala LLC. They've had that for a while now, and the land, from what I understand, is under contract. When they actually like start digging it up and creating a Buc-ee's, probably is going to coincide as to when they start the interstate exit entrance ramps and stuff, because if there's no road to the Buc-ee's, that would be problematic. So they're probably going to be doing that at the same time as the interchange. And I believe the interchange has already been approved. I just haven't seen any like tractors or, I don't know, equipment to go out there and start making this road. I don't know what's the beginning part of actually creating this I-75 interchange. I've never seen one actually be created. I've seen them under construction, but the actual beginning process where it goes from cow pasture to highway interchange, that is an incredible amount of red tape and paperwork. When it anything that involves I-75 is an insane amount of paperwork. There's a lot of legal stuff that goes on, because I-75 is federal. It goes all the way from like Miami all the way up to Michigan. So when you touch that road, you better have everybody's okay to do that. So yeah, so they're it's going to coincide. Those two things are going to be happening simultaneously. Because I mean, what happens if you have a Buc-ee's, you have all the gas stations, and you have no interchange to get to and from? So yeah, if they build the road, Buc-ee's will come. So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that interchange, and we're waiting for Buc-ee's to actually break ground, but I don't know which one comes first or if it's going to be at the same time or what, but it is slowly paperwork heavy going in that direction. Hope that answers the question. I don't remember if they gave a timeline yet, because I think they're still working through the legal red tape. But before that though, something that I'm very excited about, the train Brightline is coming to Orlando. That is going to be opening up any day now. So excited about this. So yeah, the Brightline train, which is a high-speed train going from Miami to Orlando and back again, they have an Orlando station over by the Orlando International Airport, and that is opening up any day now. So excited. So I'm definitely gonna, as soon as that thing is open, I'm gonna be on one of those first trains. I'm going out of Miami. I have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna be doing down there, but I'm going. I have been waiting for this train for years. As soon as that's done, their sole focus is going to be going over to Tampa next. So you could go from Tampa to Orlando to Miami if you wanted. So it's going to open up a lot more train-wise to the entire state of Florida. So I'm super excited about that, because it's kind of creeping up our way. I mean, there's only so many ways you can go in Florida, so I'm kind of hoping it just come up this way just a little more. I would be very, very happy if we got a train, especially a high-speed train that goes to Orlando, Tampa, and Miami. That's so excited. Yeah. Pretty much everybody around Ocala is just like, Andrea, please just calm yourself. I'm like, no, it's so cool. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. All right, y'all have a great night. Hopefully, if you make it over here, you'll get to ride the high-speed train too. You can go check out Miami in just 3 hours time from Orlando to Miami. 3 hours. Normally on the highway it takes 5, and then good luck finding parking once you get down there. Not fun. All right, well, you guys have a great night. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.